Have you ever had to stare death right between the eyes? Perhaps you were in a serious accident and you had to call 911. When you did that, the fire department came with the firefighters and the EMTs, or possibly the paramedics. So there are several pathways to becoming a firefighter, EMT in Texas. You can choose to serve your local community as a volunteer, emergency care attendant, or EMT, or perhaps you work part-time as a firefighter or emergency care attendant or EMT. Maybe you want to work a full-time job as a career as a firefighter EMT. Or perhaps you just want to focus on EMS only as a single role provider. So in Texas, the Texas State Firemen's and Firemen's Association is in charge of all the minimum requirements for the training as volunteer firefighters. The volunteers are required to attain 110 hours for their basic certification, and on top of that, they're required to get their emergency care attendant license. If they choose to get their emergency medical technician license, it's a 180-hour course. It's whether online or in a classroom setting. In Texas also, you have the ability as a junior firefighter or explorer to serve alongside your volunteer and your career firefighters while you're still under the age of 18. In partnership with the local school districts, the school districts will teach these young individuals the minimum requirements for their EMT basic training, and at the same time they will do ride-outs and take part in the basic minimum volunteer fire department curriculum for firefighter standards, the 110 hours. So by the time they're 18, they have the ability to be a certified volunteer firefighter EMT in Texas. An advantage to this program would it be allowing them to take part in the advanced training and the real life scenarios that they would see on live call events and live training scenarios. Another advantage would be if they're doing this job as a volunteer status, they will eventually have enough information in the back of their mind to help them make a decision on whether or not they want to do this as a part-time or perhaps a career job. So the Texas Firemen's and Firemen's Association had an article recently titled Big Changes, written by Kevin Creamer, and they talked about some of the additions coming up in the training, and one of those is the additional awareness in the subject of cancer, because it affects us at an increased risk because of the exposure to the job. So when you're serving as a volunteer firefighter, at some point while you're serving, you might have the thought in your mind, hey, this is what I want to do for a career now. And so the way that you can do that is you can go into a basic fire academy. The Texas Commission on Fire Protection is a regulatory agency in Texas that sets the basic minimum standards for a certified basic structural firefighter in Texas. And the minimum requirement is 468 hours of training. It's either going to be a fire academy or a classroom setting or an online setting. In addition to that, you also have to obtain your EMT basic 180-hour online course or classroom setting for that certification. Once you get that, you have the ability to do shift work, either 24/48 or a 48/96. So if you choose to do the fire and EMS, that is an option. And once you transition into that role, you'll start seeing the types of calls that we go to. So firefighters primarily go to EMS calls, the majority of the calls that we're dispatched to. And because of that, you're starting to see a transition into the single role fire department, single role EMT and paramedic program. So the city of The Colony in North Texas was the first city in Texas to come up with this program back in 2017. And the fire chief, Scott Thompson, commented later on this program that this program gave their paramedics the ability to focus strictly on the patient care and not have to worry about the fire certifications. Now, after a period of about 4 years, if these medics decided, hey, I like doing this, but I do want to look into the fire side, they had the ability to cross over and transition back into the combination firefighter, EMT, or medic role. So that was a good option for them. They had very good feedback in this program, enough so that in 2022, the City of the Colony provided the fire department with an award because of the development and the efficiency and the success of the program. And like I said, this was the first in Texas, and it was very rewarding, and it has spread throughout the nation now. So with this, we've talked about the pathways to becoming a volunteer firefighter in Texas, a part-time firefighter in Texas, a full-time firefighter in Texas, and the single role EMT paramedic program in Texas. So the question I asked you in the beginning about if you've been in a life-changing event. So that was me when I was 15 years old. It's a tragic accident with my sister, and I got to witness the local fire department and medics play a pivotal role in treating us with good patient care and providing good transport services to the hospital. And it was at that time that I chose the career path of being a firefighter. So I hope that you would take this, and if you feel the urge to serve your community or perhaps be a firefighter, look into it. Very rewarding career.